Hello everyone and welcome to our Tech Tuesday tutorials number 177. Today we highlight 3 alternatives to the phenomenally popular ChatGPT. So in just a few months, ChatGPT has exploded, and it only took 2 months for it to reach 100 million users. In the last few months, it's hit 1.6 billion to 1.8 billion, and then back down to 1.6 billion visits per month. As you can see, its popularity is decreasing a little bit, but that doesn't mean that AI in general is going away or a fad. It just means that more products have come on the market and have started providing some competition. Likewise, ChatGPT's had some growth issues and even some accuracy issues. A recent Fortune magazine actually says that it's become a bit dumber in recent months. This article highlights a recent study by Stanford University. I'll include the link in the description. And this study compared performance of ChatGPT in June versus March on 4 tasks: solving math problems, answering sensitive questions, generating software code, and visual reasoning. They analyzed both the free GPT-5 and the paid GPT-4. The most notable results came in its analysis of prime numbers. They asked it to identify the number 17,077 as a prime number. From March to June, GPT-4 fell from a 97% success rate to an astonishingly low 2.4 success rate. Meanwhile, ChatGPT 3.5, the dumber free version, it rose from a 7.4% success rate to a nearly 87% success rate, and it even showed its work. Similar results happened when they asked it to write code or do visual reasoning, asking it to predict the next figure in a pattern. The study's authors said that this was really unexpected. So that might be good news for people who are using the free version. Apparently it's smarter now, and in some ways better than the paid version. But what if you want to try other chatbots? Well, there are many of them out there. But we're just going to highlight 3 that look pretty competitive. This is not going to be a deep dive into those. It's just a highlight video. But it should be enough to give you an idea. And note that all of these chatbots are intended for users 18 and older. So the first one we're going to look at is Bard. And Bard is made by Google, and it's open to any personal Gmail accounts and for any workspace accounts for which your administrator has enabled it. If you're listening and you're a workspace admin that wants to turn on Bard for some or all of your users, I'll include the link in the video description on how to do that. Google Bard has some nice features like limited file uploads of JPEGs, PNGs. It does also support text files like TXT files or even CSV files, although it doesn't advertise that it does, but it will interpret those. Bard has some nice features in that you can share and export these to Google Docs, put them in an email, or even create a link, and you can also Google things accompanying the results here. It's also free and authenticates with your Gmail account. If you're interested in a deep dive into Bard, leave us a comment on this video. I will say that Google Bard is pretty good for code and better than ChatGPT for code production and analysis. The second one I wanted to highlight is Perplexity.ai. It's powered by an open source engine called Azure, and its focus is to be an answer engine. It spends less time explaining and hedging its answers and gets directly to the point. So here's a search I did on how much a male tunic would weigh historically. And we're counting a full hauberk with sleeves and tunic and all. This is information that's actually kind of hard to get because you get a lot of advertisements and a lot of uncertain numbers. But you'll notice it does a quick search on the web for some of this stuff and then gives you an answer. So this is not limited to 2021 like ChatGPT is. It does do actual web searching, gives you the links to those. It looks like it got 6 sources here, and then gives you the answer and cites the source where it got that information and whether or not that's the source that you would like to consider. It also then gives you related searches here or related things, questions you may want to ask. And so you could then say, okay, let's get the materials necessary for that. I'll add that to this chat. And it does the same thing. So I like that. I like the suggestions of what you might want to ask after that. Of course, you can just tweak your follow-up just like you would do with ChatGPT. If you're interested in a deep dive into Perplexity, leave us a comment on this video. Finally, there's Claude by a company called Anthropic. Now, while ChatGPT's company OpenAI is backed by Microsoft, Anthropic is backed by Google. Some would say that this is just another battle in the AI wars between these two mega corporations. Claude lets you start a new chat or access previous chats, which is kind of nice. Bard doesn't let you do that. And Claude lets you attach files up to 5 of a maximum 10 megabytes each, which is pretty big, and accepts PDFs, text, CSVs, and it says etc. Claude does handle PDFs pretty well, which I was actually impressed with. I uploaded this document here, which is 71 pages or so, U.S. Department's report on AI, and had it summarize that for me, concisely done. If I wanted to, I could then push it a little bit more and say, tell me about the chapter on learning or the section on learning starting on page 18. And this is what it tells me about that. And this is talking about whole learner, neurodiverse learners, open-ended creative tasks, and so on. So yeah, Claude is actually pretty robust. The performance is similar to ChatGPT. It has a whopping 75,000 word prompt limit compared to the 3,000 to 10,000 for ChatGPT and others. Anthropic was started by former senior members of the OpenAI team, and it claims to be an ethically driven business with AI safety at its core. Claude is free. It has a mobile app and is also available on the web at claude.ai. If you're interested in a deep dive into Claude, just leave us a comment on this video. So if you are interested in a more in-depth comparison between Bard, ChatGPT, and Claude 2, check out Matt Wolfe's video that I will link in the description here. He goes into things like the cost, the overall token limits of each one, as well as some things like web browsing, how it summarizes long content, how it does image recognition, data analysis, and a bunch of other stuff. You can see his overall verdict here. It depends on what you're using, honestly. ChatGPT is pretty good for general use if you don't want to pay any money, but then again, Claude is free right now. He says, and I agree, that he bounces back and forth between ChatGPT 4 because he has a paid account and Claude 2 on certain things. If you aren't paying though, I think Claude 2 might be the best bang for your buck, but don't give up on Bard yet. It's doing pretty good, especially with the coding. And of course, ChatGPT 3.5 is still good with creativity. It's second best, better than Claude 2 and better than Bard on that. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Why not support us? Click that subscribe button and then hit the bell icon that pops up there to get email notifications. Leave a comment or an idea for a Tech Tuesday video in the comment section below. Share this video with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.